The sun had barely risen over the quiet streets of Oakwood when Rachel Bennett tied her hair into a messy ponytail and slipped on her worn-out shoes. At 28, exhaustion wasn't new to her. It had become a way of life. Between double shifts at the diner, night classes for her nursing degree, and raising her 3-year-old daughter, Lily, alone, rest had become a luxury she couldn't afford. Her uniform smelled faintly of coffee and detergent, but her eyes, tired as they were, still carried something rare: hope. The belief that kindness and hard work still meant something in a world that often forgot. That Thursday morning at Corner Cafe, the breakfast rush was fading when a man walked in. He didn't belong to this world of clinking cups and greasy tables. His dark suit was sharp, his watch expensive, but his eyes, they looked lost. He sat quietly at the counter, ordered a black coffee, and stared blankly at his phone, like someone whose soul had wandered far from his body. Rachel had seen that look before, the quiet ache of someone barely holding on. When it came time to pay, the man reached into his pocket, checked his jacket, then frowned. "I'm terribly sorry," he murmured, embarrassed. "I think I left my wallet and my other coat. I can come back later." Before her manager could notice and make a scene, Rachel gently placed $4 from her own tip jar on the counter. "It's all right," she said with a small smile. "Coffee's on me today. We all have those mornings." The man looked up at her, really looked. A flicker of warmth returned to his tired eyes. "Thank you, Rachel," he said softly, reading her name tag. "You have no idea how much this means." She just shrugged. "It's just coffee." He paused. "No, it's more than that. You'll understand soon." That evening, Rachel picked up Lily from her kind neighbor, Mrs. Chen, and walked home to their tiny rental house. Bills piled high on the counter. The fridge hummed with emptiness, but when Lily laughed while building her puzzle on the floor, Rachel's heart softened. They didn't have much, but they had each other. The next morning was quiet, until the world itself seemed to shake. A deep, thunderous sound rolled across the sky. Rachel stepped outside, shielding her eyes. A helicopter was descending toward the empty lot at the end of her street. Neighbors spilled out of their homes, pointing, shouting. "What on earth?" she whispered, clutching Lily close. The helicopter landed. The wind whipped through her hair, and when the door opened, she froze. The man from the cafe stepped out, still in his dark suit. Only this time, he wasn't just some stranger. He was followed by a woman in a tailored suit, holding a briefcase. They walked straight toward Rachel's house. "Good morning, Rachel," he said with a calm smile. "Sorry for the dramatic entrance I had to find you." I don't understand," she stammered. "My name is Jonathan Morrison," he said. "Yesterday, when you paid for my coffee, it was the worst day of my life. I just learned that my business partner, my best friend, had stolen from me. My wife had filed for divorce. Everything I'd built felt meaningless. I was ready to give up." He looked down, voice trembling. "But then you, a stranger who clearly has little to spare, showed me kindness. You reminded me that decency still exists, that maybe my life wasn't over yet." Rachel blinked, confused. "I just bought you coffee. You gave me something worth more," he said. "Hope." Jonathan gestured to the woman beside him. "This is Catherine Wells, my attorney. I did a bit of research. I hope you don't mind. You're a single mother, working 2 jobs, studying nursing, drowning in debt, yet you still found it in your heart to help someone else." Rachel's face flushed red. That's personal, I know," Jonathan said. "But I had to understand who you are, because I want to help you, the same way you helped me." Catherine opened her briefcase and placed several documents on the table. "Mr. Morrison is establishing a full scholarship for you to complete your nursing degree. He'll also clear your outstanding medical and student debts." Rachel's mouth fell open. I can't accept that. It's too much." Jonathan smiled gently. "You can, and you will, but there's more." He took a deep breath. "My company develops hospital software, but I've realized we've forgotten the human side of healthcare. I want to build something different, a division that focuses on patients, not profits. And I want you to lead it when you finish your degree." "Me?" she gasped. "I'm not qualified for that." "You're more qualified than anyone I know," Jonathan said. "You understand what real people face. You've lived it. That kind of empathy can't be taught. Rachel's eyes filled with tears. Why are you really doing this? Jonathan's gaze drifted into the distance. Because once upon a time my parents were just like you. My father was a janitor. My mother cleaned houses. They taught me that kindness matters more than success. Somewhere along the way, I forgot that. Yesterday, you reminded me. He looked up, eyes glistening. You gave me $3.50. Let me give back a lifetime's worth of gratitude. Rachel broke down crying. Lily clung to her leg. Jonathan knelt down and smiled softly at the little girl. Your mom is a hero, Lily. Don't ever forget that. That afternoon, Rachel signed the papers with trembling hands. Her life, the one she had been barely holding together, was changing forever. Over the next months, she completed her nursing degree, and true to his word, Jonathan and Catherine were there in the audience as she crossed the stage. Lily jumped and clapped, shouting, "That's my mommy." Rachel later joined Morrison Technologies, helping launch their new healthcare with heart division. She hired other single mothers, building programs that made hospital care more humane and accessible. A year later, she stood on a stage at a healthcare conference, telling her story, not as a woman who got lucky, but as someone who believed kindness matters. $3.50, she said to the audience. That's all it costs to remind someone that goodness still exists. We never know what our small acts can do, but they might just change someone's life. Jonathan watched from the crowd, pride shining in his eyes. When she stepped down, he hugged her. You changed my life, Rachel. She smiled. You changed mine too. But maybe kindness changed us both. Lily, now 5, beamed from the front row, a little girl whose future was built on one small act of compassion. And sometimes, when helicopters passed overhead, Rachel would smile to herself, remembering that it all began with a $3.50 cup of coffee and the courage to care.